Morning, Raptor fans, Raptor Nation. What is going on? This is RPGT, and I'm going to do a preview for Game 3 tonight between the Raptors and the Sixers tonight at Scotiabank Arena. Game time starts at 8 p.m. And this is a must win for the Raptors because if they don't win this, then, well, Game 4 is going to look tough on them to try to come back and win this series. And no NBA team has ever come back from 3-0 down to win a series. So Raptors have to get this win, and I'm gonna give some keys, my keys of what the Raptors need to do and don't need to do to try winning this game. Right. So now this is not going to be in order. This is just my thoughts of what the Raptors should do and not do. Well, first thing is they gotta win. That's the main thing. They have to win. Uh, Whatever it takes, even if it has to scratch, crawl their way. Um, you know, fight as well to get a win. Even if they win by one, if they win by double digits, just win the game. All right. You have the home crowd along on your side tonight. And I hope at the start of the tip off, or before the tip off, when the national anthems start singing, whoever's going to the game, be in your seats. Okay? I heard this from Jack Armstrong on the television. Um, I think it was after game two, that if you're going to the game, you're going to be at the game inside the Scotiabank Arena, be in your seats, anthem time, ready, get the team fired up. Let's give the Sixers some earful that they do not want to hear, right? And especially at halftime. Halftime is another. I get it. People want to go out and get something to eat, but um, let's hope if they at halftime, whatever the score is, the crowd is ready and doing the same thing. All right. So one thing, get a win. Right now, how do you get the win? Well, there's some parts of this game where the Raptors need to clean up after the first two games in Philadelphia, and one of them is getting the rebounds. All right, getting second chance um, points as well. But let's get to the rebounds, okay? So I know this last game, the Raptors were out rebounded 50-40. Okay. Now comparing to game one where they were out rebounded 47-45, but they still lost by 20 points. Now the rebounding in game two, the Raptors offensive rebound, they had 13 of them. Okay. They had more than the Sixers, who only had 7. But it was the defensive rebounds which killed the Raptors. Sixers had 34, Raptors only had 22 in that game, in game two. So the Raptors gonna have to find ways to clean that up. Um, Look, you shoot the ball, you miss, you try to box out whoever is in there. I mean, the only thing is you gotta worry about is the little silly foul calls that the refs are gonna probably call, right? But try to box out, get those defensive rebounds, offensive rebounds. It was okay, right? In game one, what I said, they were out rebounded 47-45. The team had 7 offensive rebounds and 29 apiece on the defensive side. So game one was okay, right? Game one was not too bad. But if you're gonna win games like this, you gotta get rebounds as well. And now we get to the second chance points as well. Look, you're on the offensive side. You're going up early up. It does not go. You hope to have someone there to clean up the boards as well and get a putback, or if they are too well covered, they should have find the open shooter on the three. If the person that shoots a three, if they miss, get the rebound as well. Get second chance points as well. It's hard for me to say this, but in order to beat this Sixers team, I know look, it's hard, and it should not be very that hard because look, their game plan adjustments what Doc Rivers made with Joel Embiid, he's just finding ways to score um, without being punished in the paint, right? He's getting his way with everything, and that comes to um, my third thoughts, right? I'll just start with Joel Embiid. Look, whatever worked during the regular season, maybe it's not working right now. As I said, the adjustments that Doc Rivers made with Joel Embiid. I'm saying this, and this is what I heard. I'm saying this is what I heard over on a radio station. Let Joel Embiid get into the paint. Let him score whatever he wants to score, because after game two, the conversation with him and Nick Nurse, he's saying that, well, Nick Nurse is a good coach and yada yada. And when he told Nick Nurse to stop, um, I don't know if I'm allowed to say this word on my channel, but something complaining about um, the foul calls. And that to me, that this sounds like someone being a hypocrite, because if he doesn't and his other teammates do it, is Nick Nurse and the anyone else on the Raptors going to complain to Doc Rivers and tell him to tell his players to stop complaining about calls? So I don't get this hypocrisy type of mentality by these NBA players. They know what they see what they're doing, right? Sometimes I don't know, but what I'm saying, stopping Embiid, let him get his points. Because if right now, if you find out, say, okay, you know what, we don't have that traditional center that can contain Embiid. Precious Chichua, he did an amazing job in game two. I gotta give him credit for that. Like even that game two, I was watching and Precious Chichua hold his own, but it still wasn't enough. That first quarter where Embiid went to the line about 7, 8 times, scored 19 of his 31, and he only had 19 in game one, right? So let him score, but what the Raptors need to do as well, do not, and I repeat, do not let him find any shooters, right? Or make him pass the ball. If you have to double cover him and from avoiding him from passing the ball, try to keep your arms up and surround him as much as possible as you can. I know he's tall and he's lengthy and like he could throw it over you, but if they could find a way, the Raptors, I should say, if this trying to avoid him from finding shooters, and then those shooters are gonna find a way to drive the lane and get easy basket. And with that, you just have to hope and make sure that someone is there to block out as well. So that's one of my other um, game plans, right? Another thing Raptors need to stop doing. Look, guys like James Harden, right? If you know James Harden throughout the years, this guy, when he tries to take his three, he tries to draw the foul on you. So his step back threes, he waits until the defender jumps into him before shooting, and that's something that the Raptors have to be aware. Okay. Now, what the Raptors, whoever is defending, whoever is on James Harden, please do not jump into him because he's gonna look for a contact even if he misses on the three, right? That's how he is. Let him shoot. Look, if it goes in, it goes in, right? But at the same time, we know, look, you don't want to have the Sixers going on a 3 point blowout type of contents. Sorry, a three pointer shootout, I should say, right? And it's not only James Harden. Look, you gotta watch out for Danny Green as well. Danny Green, he's a type of shooter. He can shoot his three as well. Okay. Next thing for the Raptors. Raptors, as I mentioned about the foul call against them, and Embiid saying that they're complaining too much. Well, Raptors, they just have to find ways of fouling less. I mean, you're gonna foul in the game, right? There's gonna be parts in the game where you might foul the shooter or foul on the person's hand or little hit and bump there where the refs are gonna see it. So less foul will probably give you uh, chances of winning the game as well. Shooting. Shooting is the next thing, right? The Raptors have to find a ways of, well, when they're shooting the ball that I mean, they're gonna have to find a rhythm going, right? Fred Van Fleet, game 2, he started off well, but then he went, let's see, he finished with 20 points in game 2. And I'm just using him as an example. Started off well, but then he went 7 for 23. After that, 5 for 16 from three. Okay. Um, so we're gonna need shooters to guys that can know that they can score the basket, right? And we need players to step up as well. OG Ananobi, the first 2 games he's been doing okay. Game 2 he had 26 points. He was 10 for 20. Sorry, 10 for 14 from the field in game 2. He was 4 for 7 from three. So OG Ananobi was only the bright spot from threes. And that's another thing. Like if your threes is not falling, attack the basket. Don't settle for threes every time. This is what the Raptors, I find out the Raptors doing a little bit too much. Raptors settling for threes too much. let's see, game two, they were 11 for 32. Okay. Comparing to the Sixers that were 14 and 30 in game two. Okay. In game one, let's just look at game one stats here. The Raptors was, let's see here, 12 for 30. Okay. So 11 for 32, 12 for 30. Those numbers are not going to cut it in the playoffs. This is playoff time now. This is where you have to get serious. Your threes are not falling. Attack the bucket. Try to drive the. I mean, if you're gonna get blocked, you're gonna get fouled. So be it, right? And if you get fouled, you just hope that the refs call the foul on the Sixers. My next thing is my next game plan is well, with this one here, it's just something where I believe if the Raptors are gonna make a comeback and win this series, is that they have to play all four quarters. Not one quarter, not two, not three like we see they've done in regular season and win games. Raptors have to play all four quarters and win all four quarters. Okay? Win all four quarters and win them as much as you can. Like by winning by like 5 points or more or double digits or more, right? Got to be consistent as well. Got to be consistent of what you're doing. And look, the Sixers are in the Raptors' head from after game two. They see that they were getting the benefits of the calls in the first quarter and throughout the game in game two. Game one basically was something where the team just from the start for the Sixers set the tone early. So here in game three, Raptors, they gotta set the tone early. As I mentioned at the top of this preview here, you got your home crowd with you. It's been since 2019. Okay. June 2019, a Raptors home playoff game, which was against the Golden State Warriors in the NBA Finals. All right, Game Five. Game Five, where uh, you know, they lost. Okay, and look, the Raptors. I know that they can win this game, and I know they can win this series. They gotta play Raptors basketball. Okay, the first two games, it's simple that the Raptors stop playing their game. Okay, gotta get back to what Raptors know best. Defense, defense, defense is the main key. And you know, there's no Kawhi Leonard to save us. No Kyle Lowry's gonna save us. He's with Miami. Serge Ibaka's not gonna save us. Marc Gasol's not gonna save us. Danny Green's not gonna save us because now he's with the other team now. So it would be nice to, I to see Raptors just go out there and give it their all and try to not make this Sixers team who look, I mean, they had a better record than us, but if regular season, if Raptors beat them 3 out of 4, there's no reason why that they could beat them in this series. And I try to avoid the whole Doc Rivers record about him, being up in series and losing. Hey, look, if that happens, that happens. But right now, I just want to focus here on game three. There's a lot of games left to be played. The best team has to win four. And the Raptors, I know they have the ability to win four games, man. But those are my game plans tonight. Those are my thoughts for tonight as well. And hopefully, if the Raptors win this game, this is going to extend to 6 or 7 games. So, gotta get a win. All right, so that's gonna do it for me with this preview here. I will be back after the game, give my game recap, and let's see if the Raptors do what I say in my preview here. All right, have a wonderful day. Go Raptors, go!